not bad.
Good work. Now for a segment where we come together, we work together, a recurring segment, something we've been doing since the start. Okay, this is a day one operation. And these are the power rankings. Now, we were arguing who had the best list, who had the this, who had the that. These are the correct power rankings. And again, we take all of us, our own power rankings list, we aggregate it together, we put it in a math machine. The math machine spits out these numbers, and here we go. At the bottom of the league, we got the Panthers at 32, Patriots at 31, Cardinals at 30, Commanders at 29, Chargers at 28, Raiders at 27, Jets at 26, and Giants at 25. Giants now officially fighting for a wild card spot, Jason. Is the Paisano, is the Italian, is the Mafia man? Is he going to turn this thing around? I mean, he kind of seems to already have. Will they make that backdoor slide into the playoffs this year?
I don't believe so, but forget about it, you know? Forget
Forget
about
Forget
about it.
about it.
it. I don't think they put themselves in a good place to make it to the playoffs. I mean, 8 losses already. Yes, the NFC is weak, but I mean, you basically have to win out the rest of the each game to make it to the playoffs at this point.
Very true.
Mhm.
Very true. But I'll tell you what, it's funny watching a guy that nobody even knew who he was take the NFL by storm just because he's Italiano and he's better than Danny Dimes.
The guy still lives with his mom.
I
And he
know. Pretty
doesn't make
awesome.
$40 million.
Mm.
Pretty
Mm.
awesome. Our next set of teams at 24, we have the Titans. At 23, the Bears. 22, the Falcons. 21, the Saints. 20, the Pittsburgh Steelers. 19, the Vikings. 10. So that does say 10, doesn't it? Or does it
Nope,
say
that's an 8.
that looks like a zero on my screen. Must be user error. 18, the Seahawks. Number 17, the Rams. The Rams are on a little bit of a tear lately. They beat the Browns. They had the Ravens this close to taking down the number one seed in the AFC. Jerry, does Matthew Stafford and the Rams, I mean, he was on your top 10 quarterback list. He was on Jason's top 10 quarterback list. They got Puka Nakua. They got Cooper Cup. Looks like their offense has it together. Is their defense going to be good enough down the stretch to keep teams from beating them in shootouts?
I think so. I apologize. I made a mistake earlier. They're not in the 6th seed. They are, in fact, in the 8th seed on the outside looking in. But yeah, their defense, it's tough to say because they just gave up 37 points to the Ravens, right? But you look at that game, their one punt return for a touchdown with a really, really bad missed block in the back, by the way, on that punt
I
return
saw
away.
two.
Yeah. The first one I saw where he catches it and he goes around him like immediately as
Mhm.
soon as he catches the ball. One of the worst misses I've ever seen.
Yep.
Very blatant block in the back, but they were in a position to win that game against the number one seed, AFC, the number one seed in the AFC Ravens. That's why they moved up 2 spots in our power rankings this week. Defense does got to step it up a little bit. Aaron Donald's kind of the anchor of that defense. He has been for a long time. There's no doubt he's going to come together with his team and play how he does, but the team around him's got to pull it together. I'll be honest, I haven't taken a look at their schedule. I don't know who they have left. I believe they have 2 division games left. No, just one against the 49ers. They actually have a pretty easy schedule. Commanders, Saints, Giants, 49ers. 49ers not so much, obviously, but yeah, I mean, if they go 3-1 to end the season, that's a
Watch
playoff
out.
team. That's a playoff team. 9-8. Yeah, I can see it. I
I
can
can
see it.
see it too. And you got to watch out for an offense like that that could basically score at will. And they have a Super Bowl winning quarterback back there.
Hmm.
So, I mean, anything could happen once you make it to the dance. Now we're looking at our next level of teams. These are kind of the teams that are coming in and out of knocking on the door. They may be in, they may not be in. At number 16, we have the Buccaneers, 15, the Packers, 14, the Colts, 13, the Bengals, 12, the Texans, 11, the Bills, 10, the Jaguars, and number 9, the Broncos. The Bills at number 11. I've been watching a lot of other power rankings seem to have the Bills. I've seen them all the way up at 5. which to me is a little bit absurd if you have 6 losses on the season. But all the way up at 5, some of them, some rankings have them. I think we are on the lower end here at 11. But the Bills' offense looks ready to go, Jason. And I really think that if their defense can kind of just figure it out a little bit, they look pretty good against the Chiefs, that they could, that they're a team that you wouldn't want to play in the playoffs. Am I right?
I would agree. Again, Josh Allen, to all of us here, has been a top 10 quarterback, and we believe that he is playing better than what the record shows. So you get that, you get the defense to figure out what they're doing, and everybody falls in line. I think they'll be a dangerous team in the playoffs.
Just don't start dating Von Miller. Okay, top 8 teams in
Oh,
the
never
NFL.
do this time.
Here we go. At number 8, we got the Lions. At number 7, the Browns. At number 6, the Dolphins. Number 5, the Chiefs. Number 4, the Eagles. Number 3, the Cowboys. 2, Ravens. Niners at number 1. The Browns, they moved back up into this top 8 section after a brief hiatus from their 2 losses to the Browns. I'm sorry, to the Rams and the Broncos, but they find their way back into the top 8. Joe Flacco looks like prime Joe Flacco, throwing for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns for the first time. This is the first time I saw a stat that a quarterback has thrown 3 touchdowns of 30 or more yards in one game since what year? Guess.
Say that stat one more time. I'm sorry.
First time a quarterback has thrown at least 3 touchdowns of 30 or more yards in one game
Last year,
since
Mm-mm.
last year. What's your guess,
Mm-mm.
Jerry?
Jalen Hurts
20,
last year.
2018. Mahomes.
2018, Baker Mayfield rookie year.
Mm.
1980,
What?
Brian Sipin.
Who's
Yes. Who knows? But
that?
the Browns haven't had a quarterback do that since 1980, literally 43 years. Pretty incredible performance from him. Our defense looked solid. We got 4 turnovers, I'm sorry, on Jacksonville, 3 interceptions on Trevor Lawrence. And I think that the depressing part is this week we've lost a season injury. We've had a season-ending injury come out every single day. We lost DeJuan Jones, our backup right tackle. We've lost Jed Wills, our starting left tackle. We've lost Maurice Hurst, and we've lost Grant Delpit, who could maybe come back in the playoffs. He just had surgery, so all of those guys out for the season, and potentially Obo Okoronkwo, who is second on our team in sacks right now. So definitely major losses. But what gives me hope is that we have had a next man up mentality all season. We're 8-5. We seem to have figured out the quarterback, and I think we'll start to get a couple players like Denzel Ward and Ethan Posick, our starting center back. I think we can make a run. And then up at number 1, 2, and 3. So the Ravens move up 1, Cowboys move up 4. Jerry, do the I think all of us had the Ravens at number 2. What keeps the Ravens above the Cowboys to you?
Yeah, I think our top 3 all were the same.
Yes.
49ers, Ravens, Cowboys. Um the Ravens have beaten a lot of good teams this year. They're playing really good football even in some adversity against the Rams this week. They were still able to pull it out. They're just kind of one of those teams that's been solid all year round, right? The Cowboys we were kind of iffy on because they hadn't beaten a good team. They hadn't really. This is the first team that they've beaten in the Eagles that were over 500 this year. So we were kind of on the fence a little bit, but then they come out and just absolutely womp the Eagles, right? So obviously that propels them up. But when you have a team like the Ravens that's beating a lot of good teams week in and week out, number 1 seed in the AFC, especially after this week, with the Dolphins were holding it, and then they had their debacle against the Titans. It's just you got to keep that team above them until they falter, and that's how I'm seeing it, and that's why I got the Ravens ahead of the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult to penalize a team even after they win, even watching the Cowboys have a massive win. But yes, Niners remain atop of our number one at our number one spot, and they don't look like they're looking back. These have been our
Hmm.
NFL power rankings. If you have any issue with them, just know you're wrong. These are correct, and they will continue to be correct as we learn new things as the season progresses.
Also, real quick, I just wanted to shout out my mom. She's typing in the chat right now. She's a huge Niners fan, so she loves to see the Niners at the top of the list.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Brandy, well, we love you typing in the chat right now. Niners number one. Just remember the last time you went and saw the Niners, what happened. Don't forget. Ho, 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 ho.
She'll love that.
I'm sure
Oh
she
man.
will. Thanks for watching this video of the Unnamed Sports Show. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on social media at Unnamed Sports S. Also, be sure to join us live Wednesdays at 7 p.m.